I heard this bang.
Mate, this is crazy.
The floor here, it's just destroyed.
Echoes call from hollow halls, a voice that creeps and softly crawls. Time stands still, the air is.
The YouTube channel Keeping It Wheel 3006 brings a refreshingly honest and brave perspective on solo van life, documenting the day-to-day experiences, both the beautiful and the terrifying. But in a video uploaded recently, we saw a much more intense and vulnerable side of that lifestyle. It's just past midnight when the YouTuber, who lives full-time in a van and uses a wheelchair, is abruptly jolted awake by something slamming into the front of her vehicle. What followed would be one of the most frightening nights she's ever experienced in her 4 years of van life. She had fallen asleep around 11 p.m., parked on public crown land near a river. She hadn't seen anyone around all day, and the previous night had been uneventful, but not long after drifting off, something crashed against the front of her van.
So it's just after midnight. I'm in my camper van, and I just had the biggest fright I've had in 4 years of van life. I'd gone to sleep around 11 o'clock, and I hadn't really fallen into deep sleep. And I heard this bang on the front of my vehicle, and then I could feel that my vehicle was being pushed. And I am just camping out on crown land right along a river. There's farmland nearby, but I haven't seen anybody all day. I was also here yesterday and last night. And immediately I just thought, like, it's a Friday night. There's another vehicle had pulled in or something, and, you know, people were messing around, or maybe they thought the camper van was abandoned and were trying to break in or do something. But yeah, I heard this bang in my front end, and my van was being pushed. Like, I thought maybe then a bunch of people were just messing around, some teenagers or something, and rocking my van. So I yelled, "What are you doing?" Like, actually I said, "What the F are you doing?" Just to let them know there's somebody in the van. And then I didn't hear any, voices or anything. Didn't hear any footsteps, which was weird. But immediately, I was jolted awake. And then I didn't hear anything. And then all of a sudden, right at my back window, like right up here, I heard something too. Like, it was, swiping my vehicle or something.
Her immediate thought was that someone had pulled in, maybe a group of people messing around or attempting to break in. She shouted from inside the van, warning whoever was outside that someone was in there. But what was odd was the complete silence that followed. Just when she began to settle down again, she heard another thud.
But then I heard like another, it just hit to my vehicle. And so I put the window covering back up, and I beeped my key fob, so I make like a little beep beep to, I don't know, just let them know there was somebody in here. And again, I heard another like hit. And so then I just started my vehicle. I put my Ford app on my phone. I started my vehicle. And I think that scared whatever was away. Had my phone ready to call 911. And then I jumped. Well, I wouldn't say jumped, but I got back into my wheelchair from my bed as quickly as possible. I still didn't have any lights on. And I went to the front of my vehicle, I went to the curtain that divides my driver's area from the living area. And I opened it up, and I looked out the front of my van, and I didn't see any vehicles there. Like, that was the only spot that a vehicle could be there. My eyes adjusted sort of to the darkness, and I looked outside. I didn't see anybody around. So that's where I'm at. I think I'm going to try to go back to sleep. I'm a little nervous, but now I'm hearing every single sound, and it's freaking me out. But I'm going to try to get back to sleep, and then in the morning just go outside and survey around my vehicle, check out the front end of my vehicle and see there's any damage. Whew. Definitely not something I've ever experienced before in 4 years of van life. But I'm going to try and get to sleep. I'll check with you in the morning, and we're going to scope out what's going on outside my van.
She could hear something swiping along the side of the van, still not seeing anyone. She used her key fob to beep the vehicle's alarm, in hopes of scaring off whoever was out there. She started the vehicle remotely using her phone, trying to give another signal that the van was occupied. At this point, she seriously considered calling 911. She had her phone ready, keys in hand, and began preparing to move from her bed into her wheelchair. A process that takes time and effort due to her paralysis. Her heart was racing, but she stayed remarkably calm and focused, thinking through each step while trying to make sense of what was happening. When she finally made it to the front of the van and looked out through the windshield, expecting to see a car or people nearby, there was nothing. No vehicle, no movement, just complete darkness outside. That's when her thoughts began to shift. Maybe it wasn't people after all. The next morning, the situation became much clearer.
It started to sink in that it probably wasn't humans trying to get me, and it was probably an animal trying to get into my van. And now that I look around, yeah, there's definitely evidence that an animal was trying to break into my van. And I'm guessing it was a bear by the evidence left that I found this morning. Just right here. And you can see like a dirt paw right on my window there. I'm trying to look on the actual dirt. I imagine once I go out there, I'm going to see more evidence, but that was not there yesterday. Definitely not. So there's some more paw prints here on this window. On that window, it's hard to see, but then also my mirror got pushed in, and the scuffle this bear had with my vehicle. But I am very curious to get outside to see what all is out there. Once I realized it wasn't a human trying to get into my van, I was just completely calm. I think what's that trend going around that, you know, a woman in the forest would choose a bear over a human to run into, and yeah, for me, I think that's definitely what I would choose too, because bears are more predictable in a way. You know their intentions, whereas humans, you don't know their intentions. They're definitely not as predictable. You don't know what they're coming for if they do encounter you. Overall, I'm always a calm person. Like, even if you probably watched the video last night, like, my heart was racing. I just had the scariest night of my life in van life.
As soon as she got outside, she noticed smudges and dirt marks on the windows, clear paw prints pressed into the glass. Her side mirror had been bent in, and there were muddy streaks along the side of the vehicle, all strong indicators of a bear encounter. She concluded that what had woken her, what had slammed into her van and left her so shaken, was likely a bear. Not someone trying to rob or harm her, but a wild animal, probably drawn by smells or curiosity. Ironically, this realization brought her more comfort than fear. As she explains, she'd rather have an encounter with a bear than a person out there in the woods.
I'd be curious to know how much time passed from the time, like, I heard that first bang and woke up to the time where, okay, it's a bear, you're safe, it's not likely to get into the van. How that transpired, I would say maybe only 3 or 4 minutes. Probably a bit longer than the average person because I'm not as mobile and I had to get back into my wheelchair, but I don't think it was that long. But boy, did my adrenaline get going, just trying to have calm thought process. Definitely a unique night. So, I'm guessing this is what attracted the bear. Yesterday I made a slow cooker meal, and it was cold and windy all day, and so this was cooking in my van. I didn't have the doors open, I didn't even have the vent going, but I made like a sausage with peppers and onions and then added pasta, and so that was just cooking and festering in my van for a good 6 hours. and I can still smell it today, like this morning. It's just lingering in here. So I think that scent is probably what, attracted the bear and brought him to my lovely home, and he thought he was going to get a nice midnight snack. So I'm going to take this as a learning experience, a reminder to stay alert and not get too complacent on the road. And so what better time now than to try to figure out a bit of a jerry-rigged security system. So I do have my dash cam here, and when I first had it, I didn't want to have to hardwire it to my vehicle or my camper batteries, but now I have a Blue Eddy portable power station that actually I think is going to be the perfect solution.
Despite everything, she remained calm through the ordeal. She also noted that just before falling asleep, she'd heard a dog barking in the distance, the only real sound in an otherwise quiet environment. And strangely, she heard the same dog again shortly after the incident, suggesting that the bear had likely come from that direction and was now heading back. In the end, it was a terrifying and confusing incident in the dead of night that turned out to be a very real and a very wild encounter. What did you make of this encounter? Let me know. Before we go any further, I just want to ask you for a small favor. If you're enjoying the video so far, please give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed yet, now's the perfect time. We recently hit 100,000 subscribers, and that's all thanks to you. Our 100K special surprise was revealed, and we had many positive responses from you. Our next goal is to hit 200K before the year ends. It feels impossible, but hey, it's free to dream, right? Also, there's a hidden word somewhere in this video for you. Let's see if you can find it. Now, back to the video. On October 28th, 2013, outdoorsman Josh Highcliffe posted what has since become one of the most widely discussed and debated cryptid videos on YouTube. Known for his channel that focuses on hunting and outdoor life, Josh wasn't searching for anything unusual when he set out that evening, just wild hogs. His property lies about 9 miles west of Tunka, Mississippi. As dusk began to fall, faint rustling sounds came from just beyond a nearby tree. Believing it to be the sound of a hog finally entering the area, Josh slowly turned to check. But instead of spotting game, he caught sight of something else entirely. Roughly 50 yards away, partially obscured by brush and a rotting cypress stump, crouched a large, black figure. At first glance, it may have seemed like a bear or another large animal, but the longer Josh looked, the more details he noticed. Broad shoulders, a slightly hunched posture, and what appeared to be hands. Not paws. Hands. He immediately pulled out his phone and started filming. In the footage, the figure remains crouched and partially hidden for several seconds, then stands abruptly, revealing a height Josh estimated to be around 7 feet tall. Its movement is swift and fluid, almost human but not quite right. The moment a truck passes on a nearby road, the creature rises and shifts slightly, as if startled. That's when panic takes hold. Josh, clearly alarmed by what he's seeing, bolts, and the video ends abruptly. Shortly after, he uploaded the clip to YouTube. He didn't try to embellish it with dramatic narration or theories. In fact, his post came across more as a plea for answers than an attempt to convince anyone. What did he see? Could it have been a misidentified animal? Someone in a costume? Or, as some believe, did he unintentionally catch a real glimpse of the elusive creature said to haunt the swamps? Perhaps even Bigfoot. Whatever the truth may be, the footage still evokes that same uneasy feeling, that something massive, unknown, and possibly dangerous might be lurking just beyond the trees. Posted to YouTube by Wildcat Adventures, this latest video from her follows a 2-day wild camping trip across stunning Welsh landscapes that quickly turns from a dreamy adventure into a battle against the elements. With Bev joining the channel's host Kat for another memorable outing, the video begins with high spirits. But things don't go quite as expected. The adventure kicks off in typical Wildcat fashion, full of banter and warmth. The duo set out toward the site of their first wild camp, a remote, partially ruined castle, surrounded by rolling hills and said to be haunted. Legends claim the ghost of a soldier can be seen at sunset standing on the ramparts, gazing into the valley before vanishing with the light. The setting is genuinely breathtaking.
As the sun sets, the ghost of a soldier can be seen standing on the ramparts, looking out along the valley. And then as the sun sets, it just disappears. And also, apparently, you can hear the screams of people in the night. Hopefully. I do, don't I? Huh. Oh, that's cool. A little secret hut. You can sleep in that, couldn't you? Yeah. Flat and dry.
Yeah, the soldier, you know. He's behind her, so it starts pouring down with rain. Well, the screams get a bit loud.
Yeah, we'll come down here.
Come down here.
I think we found it. Oh, wow.
Really?
There's a proper castle. Like a proper little moat down there, isn't it? Oh, wow.
That's what?
Wow.
5 foot thick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
After navigating ancient stone walls and enjoying the squeaky charm of a few rusty gates, they find the perfect camping spot. The weather is uncharacteristically warm and clear, not a raindrop in sight, which is a rare treat in Wales. With views of the valley, flat terrain, and castle ruins surrounding them, it's a wild camper's dream. They cook dinner and settle in for what should be a peaceful night. But shortly after nightfall, the situation changes. The wind begins to pick up. There they opt for an emergency night of car camping, which brings its own strange twist. It turns out they're not the only ones using the beach car park that night. Strange cars come and go, headlights flash through the windows, and it quickly becomes apparent that it might be a local late-night meeting spot. Still, they manage to get some sleep. In the morning, they joke about the night's chaos and laugh over breakfast. The rest of the video follows their exploration of Dorothea Quarry. They plan to set up camp again, enjoy the views, and toast the sunset with some gin. But once again, nature has other plans. What begins as a promising setup quickly turns into another windstorm.
It is more than just a bit breezy now. It is getting up to a good sort of 40. I don't know how bad the wind is outside, but it is blowing my centre pole in. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be sleeping much in this. This is getting a bit crazy. If I had my crossing poles on, I'd probably be all right, but I don't have my crossing poles because it's forecast still. Because I checked the forecast. Whoa. Jesus. Mate, this is crazy. Like, we're not sleeping in this. The tent will take it, but I ain't sleeping, am I? That is ridiculous. And apparently, according to Met Office, 20-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Not a chance. Not a chance is that 20. That is easily a 40-mile-an-hour.
Bev's tent pegs begin to fail. The ground proves too shallow to anchor properly. And once again, the tents are battered by strong gusts. They wisely decide to abandon the second camp before dark and make their way back to the car for a second night of vehicle-based survival. While they were never in true danger, it would have been a miserable, sleepless, and possibly risky night, battling unpredicted weather. Despite the setbacks, the trip is still filled with laughter, beautiful locations, and that resilient, humorous spirit that Wildcat Adventures is known for. Like always, let me know what you think of this encounter. Uploaded on July 20, 2025. This video from the channel Urbanormal follows a team of explorers as they make their way into a massive structure that has seen decades of history, the now abandoned Chanot Air Force Base in Rantoul, Illinois. Once a bustling site for military training and Cold War operations, this sprawling base was officially decommissioned in 1993. Today, much of it lies in ruin, its vast network of buildings a shadow of their former purpose. But despite its state of decay, the team found themselves far from alone. Their focus for this night's exploration is the 6-story hospital building, one of the most iconic remnants of the base. Originally outfitted with X-ray rooms and extensive treatment facilities, it once served thousands of injured personnel. Now, however, it sits in darkness, and more recently, has suffered a large fire, reportedly started just 2 weeks before the video was filmed. The blaze took hours to extinguish, and required the response of several counties. Local authorities suspect a group of teens started the fire by lighting old mattresses on the lower floor. As the group moves through the building, they discuss this incident, noting the scorch marks and lingering smoke damage in certain rooms.
Alright guys, so we are in the burned part of the building where the main fire went off. The floor is obviously not structurally sound. I don't think we can go in here, right?
That's where the mattresses were.
Yeah, there were some mattresses, so... Yeah, dude, that's crazy. Just, it's all charred. I mean, I'm glad...
This is an animal.
Oh, did you?
It's gray, man. It tripped me out a little bit.
See, I'm glad that it was contained to just, like, this area. And didn't burn the whole building down. But, like, you can feel like the floor is just gone. You guys can see the floor here. It's just destroyed.
More damage.
Well, they did, you know, get every county out here. So, yeah, guys, take a look at the ceiling. It's all just charcoaled out. Now, if what I'm hearing is correct, apparently every county that's nearby, apparently they came to help put out this fire. Because the fire lasted for, like, what, 2-3 hours, so.
Yeah, you would have had Champaign County, Vermilion County, perhaps.
Yeah, just everybody.
Effingham or something. I don't know what's all around here.
See, and that's the thing. That's why I like documenting these places before they burn down. Because, I mean, they said it burned down, and there was no lightning or nothing, so it had to have been stupid kids.
More or less, yeah. Yeah, lightning would have probably caused it to start somewhere else.
Yeah, I don't see it coming through a window, you know. These rooms look like they'd be more like, what, patient rooms maybe? Like if you're sick, you get your own private little residence.
Yeah. Yes, that's what this looks like.
Okay.
Yes, this looks like that.
Yeah, so we got a little thing over
There were
here.
probably hospital beds in these rooms.
It says green. I don't know if you guys can read that up there.
The glasses.
Yeah. Got a little stained glass window pane coming down. Ceiling tiles, of course, missing once more.
But that isn't the only sign of recent activity.
How it used to be was that door would be closed and it was just unopenable, and then this thing was locked, but we had a way to basically get it open without breaking it, obviously. But it looks like somebody just left it open now, and this door is now kicked in too, because this door wasn't kicked in last time. So people have definitely been in here.
So I noticed something coming in here. You had mentioned, a concern with urban exploring is homeless people or squatters and that kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah,
So
that's a big
this
one.
is obviously somebody's spot.
Oh, dude!
There's a raincoat and So this is somebody's hangout spot, you know?
Yeah. I mean, this would be a good spot to have, though. It's really
dry,
echoey,
it's
too.
dry here, but the basement, you know, it's easy to get in and out, I guess, but. And you wouldn't
We
have
got somebody's
animals.
socks.
Yeah, man, you wouldn't have animals and stuff in there, but this is not my idea of the best apartment I've ever seen.
No. How much would you pay for rent?
They'd be paying me.
Oh, I got a bunch of doors. Oh, dude, look at this. I don't even know what this is. Maybe just fuses for the elevator. I think this bleeds in from that other room. It's like right here, you just got a bunch of different like fuses and stuff. It's pretty cool. Nothing too insane. Anything?
Glass
Glass?
panels and stuff. The basement's got its creek vibe, but it's nothing like Indiana State Sanatorium.
Yeah,
Or,
no.
I don't know, it looks like it.
I think this is a bathroom over here. Yeah, no, this is nothing like Indiana State Sanatorium, but this is still really cool. Oh yeah. So you'd have right here, you take your shower or whatever.
Scattered belongings, including liquor bottles, raincoats, and even signs of shelter, suggest that squatters or possibly homeless individuals have been occupying parts of the basement. While this presents a genuine concern for safety, what unfolds next is far more unsettling. Deep in the lower levels, surrounded by collapsed ceilings, exposed piping, and remnants of old electrical systems, the team begins to sense something isn't quite right. At one point, an eerie sound is heard from deeper within.
Oh, this is their old safety board. They put like their safety stuff up here. That's pretty cool. And a little like an old bell system. I guess that would be hooked up into wherever the upstairs is. We got a low-hanging ceiling. This place is pretty short. Beautiful vibe in here, though. Check this out. Like, it's not that far from me. It's pretty cool. But honestly, it's interesting. This place, it's pretty big. And this is just the basement, so. Back here we got a weird room. Hello? Hey, James?
What? The thunk?
Did you hear that?
Did you hear a thunk?
Yeah, was it
Yeah,
you?
it was me going like this.
Oh, dude, I
There's
thought
no one here, man.
somebody was here with us. I was about to freak out for a
That
second.
was just me doing that.
All right. Yeah, back here we got another one of these concrete rooms. Just imagine somebody has like the bubonic plague or something, and they just put him in there.
Yeah, I'm sure, you know, they didn't need everybody. Oh, that's kind of cool. A tree. Plants are growing in here. That's kind of cool.
Oh,
Honestly.
that is awesome.
I mean,
Considering there's no
That's
sunlight.
an oak tree right there. Right, there's no sunlight. And that's an oak tree. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
I mean, out of, you know, the fungus and the mold and stuff like that. That's really cool.
Look at how this door is just peeling too.
An unexplained creak or groan from the far side of the basement. The tension is palpable as flashlights sweep across long, dark hallways, revealing just how vulnerable they are in such a confined space. One member even remarks that this part of the building might have once housed the facility's electrical or furnace systems. They investigate a room filled with foam and strange debris, which had been sealed shut on a previous visit, only to now find it wide open.
Yeah, this room right here, I remember because that door that had the foam in it used to be closed, and now it's open. There's just all this foam just hidden back here. And yeah, it's pretty cool. It's sad that there's a lot of it too, but you know. But how it used to be was that door would be closed and it was just unopenable, and then this thing was locked, but we had a way to basically get it open without breaking it, obviously. But it looks like somebody just left it open now, and this door is now kicked in too, because this door wasn't kicked in last time. So people have definitely been in here.
Its door seemingly kicked in. Whether this change was caused by humans or something else remains unanswered. But what is clear is that the explorers aren't the first people to come through here recently, and they may not be the only ones inside even now. The team continues, joking to lighten the mood, but every echo and creaking floorboard seems to sap their confidence. They stumble across more signs of habitation, worn socks, a makeshift sleeping area, and a stash of food wrappers. While this could easily belong to someone seeking shelter, the idea of running into that person in the bowels of a ruined hospital is chilling in itself. Toward the end of the exploration, the group makes a point to check whether any of the building's power still functions. As expected, the switch doesn't work. What was once a fully operational military facility, with hundreds of thousands of troops trained here during World War II and beyond, is now nothing more than a ghost-filled shell, with rumors of past accidents and even fatalities tied to the site. It's easy to see why a place like Shawnee Air Force Base might attract paranormal investigators and thrill seekers alike. But as the explorers wrap up their night, it's not a ghost that unnerves them. It's the realization that someone, or something, might have been following them the entire time. This encounter was more than just a walkthrough of decaying military history. It was a brush with the unknown in a place where danger, both seen and unseen, still lingers in every hallway. Paranormal Discovery has taken viewers on countless chilling adventures, but this time, they've gone deeper, both literally and figuratively, into the unknown. Teaming up with fellow explorer Angelo, the channel traveled out west to British Columbia, Canada, for an expedition into the wilderness of the Canadian Rockies. Specifically, they set their sights on Mount 7, a towering and isolated destination surrounded by dense forests, steep drop-offs, and a growing reputation for strange phenomena. The video begins lightheartedly enough.
I'm here with my boy, Explorer with Angelo.
What's up? He made it.
I made it.
We made it. We out here.
We out here in the blistering sun, soaking it up. But as you guys know, we still have restrictions in the East Coast, so Nova Scotia is still under a forest ban and a fire ban. So if you guys didn't know, real briefly, I have 1 out of the 2 permits that authorize me to go and film. So when I get back, I can finish that up. But I needed to get out of the province to go camping. You guys have been wanting me to go camping, wanting me to link up with Explorer with Angelo. So we here about to go up to Mount 7. Now, Mount 7, you said, was a very interesting place.
Very. I've had a lot of odd things, to say the least. Usually at night, sometimes weird sounds during the day. It is beautiful during the day, which is why we're going up now. But yeah, I've literally seen stuff up there with my own eyes. I'll explain, I guess, once we kind of get there. And I can even show you the spot where it happened. But it used to be used for mining, logging, stuff like that. So there's a bunch of old dirt roads, and there's one main road that basically leads all the way to the top. So I've done it in the summer, I've done it close to winter, but basically in October, once you get high enough, it's winter, essentially.
Right.
So yeah.
The team acknowledges the restrictions still affecting their home province and explains that this trip is not only a change of scenery, but a much-needed opportunity to film in a new, unrestricted environment. As they make their way up the mountain, they highlight some of the practical hurdles they had to overcome, like not being able to bring all their gear on the flight and stopping at a Bass Pro Shop for essentials like camping chairs. Spirits are high, the mood is playful, and the scenery is absolutely breathtaking. As they ascend, the surroundings grow more remote. The road becomes narrower, the air feels heavier, and that initial sense of awe slowly gives way to something more unsettling. Though they haven't set out with a specific paranormal theory in mind, the team remains open to anything, be it spirits, cryptids, or some unknown force that might be watching them from the tree line. Eventually, they reach a vantage point near the summit. The view is stunning, sprawling wilderness as far as the eye can see, with the Trans-Canada Highway a tiny line in the distance. But that beauty is disrupted by a sudden change in weather. Thunder echoes across the valley, and dark storm clouds begin to form, creating an atmosphere straight out of a horror film. As the wind picks up, their gear starts to get tossed around. What was meant to be a quiet rest at the summit quickly becomes a scramble to stay grounded, both physically and mentally. At one point, a bear spray incident adds a very real layer of chaos. One of them accidentally gets sprayed in the eye, which sends him into visible distress.
It's weird because now those like tree noises aren't happening. What's going on here? I'm not gonna lie, when I sprayed that for like a test run, I got some in my eyes. Like starting to burn my own eyes. Yeah, I got some in my eyes, man. I sprayed it that way. I sprayed it over there so I can kind of just like get a good test spray, and it like went back. I don't know how it did, but it like turned that way. It's like in my eyes right now. Damn, bear spray's like in my eyes, man.
It's a harsh reminder that while supernatural threats are a concern, nature itself can be equally unforgiving. With visibility worsening and the threat of lightning looming, the team decides to move carefully, though not quite retreating. They're there to investigate, and a little danger isn't going to stop them. At least not yet. The strangest moment comes when one of the explorers reports hearing something moving just beyond the clearing. At first, they suspect a wild animal, maybe even a grizzly, but the noise isn't consistent with an animal foraging or running. It's something slower, heavier, more deliberate. For a few minutes, the footage captures that unmistakable silence right before panic sets in. One of the explorers even describes the sensation of being followed, an energy that's hard to explain but impossible to ignore. Though they never capture a clear image of anything unusual, it's the feeling that lingers. They talk openly about the shift in atmosphere, how the mountain suddenly seems like it doesn't want them there. Whether it's the altitude, the storm, or something unseen, the effect is palpable. But sometimes, the subtle stuff is far more unnerving. The sound of something in the trees, the feeling of being watched, the inexplicable fear that creeps in even when nothing seems to be happening.
It's when I'm walking. What the? Oh my. What the? Hello?
Paranormal discovery doesn't always need jump scares to deliver the goods. The environment and raw reactions are often enough. Whatever Mount 7 holds, it clearly made an impression on the crew. Whether it was a trick of the light, the weight of isolation, or something more sinister, this Canadian mountainside left them shaken. And after watching this, viewers might think twice before venturing out there alone, especially as night begins to fall. As always, let me know your thoughts on this encounter as well. In their latest video uploaded just about a week ago, the team behind Ghost Theory takes viewers deep into an abandoned care home, a location they say always delivers when it comes to paranormal encounters. As they explain in the opening, care homes tend to be hotspots for unexplained activity due to the large number of people who pass away there. While they aim to remain respectful, the team doesn't shy away from documenting any strange happenings. This particular care home, according to the team, shut down not because of neglect, but due to a lack of funding. That distinction, they note, makes them curious about whether the nature of the closure affects the energy left behind. As they begin exploring the upstairs lounge area, the atmosphere feels bleak, but not especially threatening. It's only as they move into darker areas of the building, particularly those stripped of copper and power, that the vibe noticeably shifts. Midway through their daytime walkthrough, things take a strange turn.
So we thought this would now be a good point to go around and do the cinematics and photos while we wait for the tennis courts outside to shut so they don't contaminate any investigation.
While we were doing that, I heard what sounded like someone trying the doors from the outside when we came across a room where the doors were opening, but we were certain they were closed before. Joe was getting cinematics, I've been getting photos, and we've just come down. I've been like almost paranoid because I thought I was hearing someone almost checking doors and coming through.
and Joe actually stopped on the way out and took a picture of this map on his phone. I'll come in here and these doors are open, and they were not open when we went up.
Both investigators are startled, especially since no one was supposed to be in the building at that time. With their gear still upstairs, they hurry to retrieve it, suddenly worried that someone might be inside with them. Shortly after, they do encounter someone, 2 other urban explorers, it turns out, who had entered the building separately. Although the sudden meeting causes a bit of a scare, the situation de-escalates quickly, and the group even bonds over a creative idea, laying out old photographs from the building as a sort of impromptu memorial for the residents who once lived there. After this encounter, the ghost theory team leaves for dinner, planning to return later for a more focused nighttime investigation. When they come back, things feel different. The atmosphere is heavier, and strange noises begin again.
Close these as well.
If you're still watching, comment the hidden word feelings. While tennis courts nearby explain some of the noise pollution, the metallic sounds seem too unusual and close to ignore. As the investigation begins, the team expresses some hesitation, not out of fear of paranormal entities, but due to uncertainty about whether someone might still be inside. Regardless, they decide to press forward. The tension is palpable as one of them asks, "Was that you or me?" referring to a rolling sound they both just heard. From objects seemingly moving on their own, to doors inexplicably opening, this investigation into the abandoned care home left the team shaken and viewers questioning how much of what happened was explainable and how much defied logic. With this last encounter comes the end of another episode. If you haven't already, let me remind you again to like and subscribe. Also leave a comment about what you liked and didn't like about this video. We almost upload daily videos, so you better have subscribed, cause trust me, you don't want to miss out. If you want to watch more disturbing videos, in about 3 seconds, they will be on your screen. I'll see you there.